Hey everyone, it's Tony Leonardi, certified financial planner and author of A Smarter Way to Retire, 10 Steps Towards a Confident Financial Future, recording here in my home office in Newtown, Connecticut. And we're here for another episode of A Smarter Way to Retire podcast for Friday, September 5th. I hope you had a great Labor Day weekend last weekend. Now we're going to focus on building your confident financial future. I'm actually recording a few days early this week, pre-recording, I guess you would call it in the podcast world, as I'll be away later this week. This is actually a very busy birthday week for us. My dad, Tony, will be turning 85 this week on Wednesday, September 3rd. So we're planning a nice celebration with family, friends, and neighbors on Wednesday night at my parents' house in Middlebury. Thursday, Lori and I leave for Las Vegas for one night on our way to Utah for Lori's aunt's 80th birthday party, where we'll be getting together with her family from California and also some driving down from the Portland, Oregon area. We'll be meeting at her aunt's house in Utah. So lots of big birthdays this week, some traveling for us and maybe a little time in the casino one night in Vegas, so wish me luck. By the way, I've heard many times over the years from people that investing in the markets is just like gambling. I submit to you that investing in the markets is the exact opposite of gambling. When you gamble, the games are designed for the house to win. That's the business that they're in. Now, each game is different. One game the house may win on average 10 cents per dollar bet. On one it may be 5. Each game is different, but the house is going to win the longer you play. You may win now and then. You may hit the jackpot on the slot machine every now and then, but the more you play, the more you're going to lose. That's just based on the odds and the way the games are designed. In the markets, you're investing in companies, good companies, hopefully, that are built to grow and profit. And as an investor, you're one of the many owners of the company participating in the growth and the profits of the company. You may lose now and then when a company goes out of business or has a bad quarter or a bad year, but the more you invest and the longer you stay in, the more you win based on the odds. So I don't plan on winning anything in Vegas, but it sure would be a nice surprise if we get a little lucky. This week, we're continuing our rotating retirement topics, moving from last week's focus on tax planning to today's focus, which is a big one. It's the great wealth transfer, with $84 trillion set to move from older generations to younger generations between now and 2045. We'll explore how to plan your legacy effectively. Do you want to ensure that your wealth creates the impact that you envision? Well, book a consultation with me. You can find my calendar, my Calendly link on my website, leonardifamilywealthcare.com. Why the great wealth transfer matters. Well, the great wealth transfer is reshaping retirement planning for high net worth individuals. According to Cerulli Associates, $84 trillion will pass from baby boomers to millennials and younger generations between now and 2045. This isn't just about passing on money, it's about creating a legacy that reflects your values, whether that's supporting family, funding education, or giving to causes that you care about. That's called legacy planning. And it's one facet of planning that many people miss out on. My book, A Smarter Way to Retire, 10 Steps Towards a Confident Financial Future, emphasizes dynamic long-term planning, including legacy planning, over static planning, static wills, or guesswork. And unlike advisors that are always chasing investment trends, I focus on your long-term goals. Think about setting up a family trust or a charitable foundation. And the tools that we use, the software like MoneyGuidePro, are the key to this type of planning, modeling your wealth transfer, helping to ensure that your retirement stays on track while your legacy thrives. First and foremost, you want to make sure that your needs and wants are taken care of, tax and inflation adjusted over time before you start thinking about giving your money away or leaving a legacy. How much can you afford to give without putting your own financial goals in jeopardy? How would you even know without modeling it out over time? Today we'll unpack strategies to transfer wealth efficiently, minimizing taxes and maximizing impact. So into the nuts and bolts of planning for this great wealth transfer. I submit to you a simple will or casual gifting isn't enough. Dynamic long-term planning with models like the software that we use helps to ensure that your wealth creates the legacy that you want. First, consider trusts. A revocable living trust lets you control assets during your lifetime while setting clear instructions for your heirs, avoiding probate delays and costs, which can eat up to 4 to 7% of your estate in some states. Some states are more expensive than others, so keep an eye on your state laws and talk to your local attorneys. Many people know these as living trusts. For larger estates, say over the $13.9 million for 2025, according to IRS rules, an irrevocable trust can help reduce estate taxes, which could hit up to 40% federal plus states on amounts above that threshold. For example, a client set up a trust to pass $2 million to their grandkids for college, protecting it from creditors and ensuring tax efficiency. I've also worked with some very large privately held companies over the years that needed sophisticated trust and insurance work to help reduce the tax bill on the ultimate passing of their business to the next generation. You won't find headlines of major companies collapsing purely from bad estate planning. Failures in these largest companies are often tied to broader issues like mismanagement, think Enron or Blockbuster. But for family businesses, a missing or outdated estate plan can be a silent killer. Picture a $10 million retail chain halted by probate after the founder's death, or a $3 million tax bill forcing a fire sale of a manufacturing company. These risks hit closely held businesses hard, disrupting operations or wiping out value for heirs. We can help with the right modeling of trusts, of gifting, or partnerships to avoid these traps, ensuring your business and legacy thrive for generations. Next, let's talk about gifting strategies. Gifting strategies are powerful. Did you know that you can gift $19,000 per person annually in 2025 without triggering gift taxes, letting you transfer tax-free during your lifetime? So a couple could give $38,000 per year to each child or grandchild, or really anyone that they want, significantly reducing their taxable estate over time. And don't sleep on these annual gifting exclusions. These annual $19,000 gifts, they could really be very powerful over time. I've seen a lot of people do this over the years because they want to be around to see their family enjoy these gifts rather than just waiting until they're gone to pass their wealth. Again, modeling here will help you determine a safe amount to gift each year without putting your own financial house at risk. And you don't need to be wealthy to gift. In fact, we all gift. We gift at Christmas, we gift at birthdays, at special occasions, maybe that one big family dream vacation like my mom did a few years ago, taking the whole family to Italy. That's a gift. That's a big gift. I have clients right now planning a family trip to the Galapagos Islands for their entire extended family. And we've modeled that out for them in their financial modeling, in their budget, to make sure that it works. The question for legacy planning really is, how much can I afford to gift without putting my own future at risk, without putting my own retirement at risk? Almost every financial model I run for clients includes a section in the budget called wishes. Whatever your individual wishes are, paying for some or all of your grandkids' college, making annual birthday gifts, putting money in a 529 plan, helping to pay a down payment on a house for your kids or your grandkids. Whatever you dream of accomplishing with your hard-earned money, you should be modeling those wishes to make sure that they work, not only for the person receiving the gifts, but most importantly for you and your retirement plan. If you haven't yet modeled out your wishes, let me know. I'm here to help. Another wealth transfer option to consider is a grantor retained annuity trust. Now we're getting into the more sophisticated high net worth planning. So a GRAT, a grantor retained annuity trust, is where you transfer appreciating assets like stocks or businesses to heirs while retaining income for a set period of time, minimizing gift taxes. For instance, transferring $1 million in a growth stock to a GRAT could pass substantial gains to your kids with little taxes. For philanthropy, qualified charitable distributions let you donate up to $10,000 annually from your IRA after age 70 and a half, tax-free, supporting charities while lowering your taxable income. Donor-advised funds are another great tool. You can contribute a lump sum, say $50,000, get an immediate tax deduction, and distribute grants to charities over time. Perfect for high net worth retirees wanting some flexibility in their charitable giving. Family limited partnerships are another tool that can also work, letting you transfer businesses or real estate assets to heirs at a discounted value, reducing estate and gift taxes. A client used a family limited partnership to pass a $3 million rental property to their kids, saving on taxes by leveraging valuation discounts. Modeling these strategies, trusts, gifting, GRATs, QCDs, FLPs, and believe me, there are plenty more, showing how they impact your retirement's probability of success is the key to good wealth transfer planning. For example, a recent plan that I modeled for a client showed this couple how they could give $500,000 to their two daughters over a period of time while maintaining a 95% probability of success rating for their own retirement. They get to help out their daughters and their grandkids now while they're here to see them enjoy it and still feel confident about their own financial futures. That's the power of modeling. Early planning helps avoid rushed decisions, helps ensure tax efficiency, and helps to align your wealth with your values, whether that's family, education, charity, or your community. So are you ready to plan your legacy? My two-phase process starts with a 1-hour assessment. I gather your financial data, assets, income, expenses, and goals, like funding grandkids' education or supporting a charity. Using our modeling software, I'll calculate your probability of success, your portfolio's probability of success, and identify steps to help optimize your wealth transfer, giving you a clear baseline. From there, you can decide if a formal plan is needed to refine your strategy, like setting up a trust or gifting plan. Sharing financial details can be tough though, but as a CFP professional, I'm here to earn your trust. Book your assessment on my website, leonardifamilywealthcare.com. Look for my Calendly link. It's just an hour to gain some clarity. So that's it for this week's A Smarter Way to Retire. I'm Anthony Leonardi, Certified Financial Planner, helping you build a confident financial future. Follow us on Instagram at Tony Leonardi CFP, on Facebook at Leonardi Family Wealth Care. Subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, and leave a review. Next Friday, September 12th, we're exploring AI, artificial intelligence, and how that fits into your financial plan. Book your assessment on my calendar link. And don't forget to plan smart and retire happy. We'll see you next week.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Osaic Wealth, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Osaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Osaic Wealth. The opinions expressed herein are for general information only and is not necessarily the opinions of Osaic Wealth or its representatives. Investing is subject to risk, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. It is not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. Please consult your financial professional, attorney, or tax advisor with regard to your individual situation.